Morning, everybody. I'll give it a minute before we get into it, see if anybody's about. It's now coming up to 9:15 in the UK. I'm Lena, and I am a part-time reseller in the UK. And my handle is at Money Making Mummy because that's who I am. In a nutshell, I make money to support my family, my two kids. Um, I work full time from home, and yeah, the kids at school today. It's very cold, and I had a half day yesterday off. First part of the day, so I was off until 3 o'clock, and then I started work at 3 p.m. until half seven. So it wasn't too bad. Um, it's January, it's cold, things are a little bit slower on a reselling side. I missed the car boot on Sunday because it was just too cold, too snowy to go out, and kids were super sleepy. And to be honest, we all wanted to just stay in bed extra half an hour. But we are going to car boot this week, snow or not. We are gonna go. It's really hard for me to get out and about during the week to charity shops, and I haven't got that many around me. So I've got one that I visit every week, and I've been there on Saturday, and I will go again probably on Friday or Saturday. But in general, we just go to car boot, some charity shops, and charity shops are expensive now. We've done a video on that. So, but today is very exciting because yesterday I secured my first Depop sale, and I sold a coat. It was a next size 16 kind of a warm coat. I got it for £1 at the charity shop locally, and it was on a rail. And I thought, it's probably worth more than £1. So I tried to sell it for £5 on Vinted, and it didn't sell. And that was my last chance. I started a Depop account, and I made sure that that item was the first to go there. I have now 30 items on Depop. I mean, I need more items on Depop. But what I wanted is to get all the cheap items that has been lying around for a long time. And I wanted to price them very reasonably with the good descriptions to get good reviews. And I know, once I got the good reviews, I'd have no bother and no problems selling any of the good stuff I have or pick up. So, and you kind of have to go on Depop with a really good, nice item. So see this dress now. That's a DKNY dress. So Depop gives you like a three options to either sell fast, sell at reasonable price, or wait and get the best price, because they've obviously got the data from those items. So for this dress in particularly, I want to get the best price. It cost me £40. So I listed it for 9, and I think that is reasonable. But according to Depop, it's a bit, on the pricey side. But I'm willing to wait a little bit longer since I had this dress for 2 or 3 years, and it's still cold. I think people are still looking for dressy items, so I'll give it a week or two, and then I will probably reduce it if it doesn't sell, or I'll start offering discounts. So I don't think I've got this dress on eBay. I sort of wanted to list some items exclusively either on eBay or Depop. I don't use cross list yet because I think it's just another thing, another cost that I would need to add to when I'm a bit bigger in terms of purchasing power of items, and when I've got a bit more flow of cash. At the moment, I'm quite small. So in the last live, I've shared that I've only made about £254 in 2 weeks. So it's for January, for December and January. This is after Christmas. Profit only, £254 is pretty good. We covered our food. So I was chuffed with that. I just wanted to go through some recent sales. And yesterday I made a little bit of a mistake. schoolboy error because, well, two mistakes really. After I sold that coat on Depop, I've noticed that actually it is size 16, not at 14 that I listed. So I reached out to the lady and I said, um, I'm really sorry, I'm new here. And I think Depop automatically put this code at for size 14, but actually it is 16. And she kind of came back to me an hour later and said, look, don't mind, it wasn't expensive. I bought the coat for £1. I sold it for £2. And that's exactly what I wanted. I wanted to just not to make profit, but to more so get that first sale and get a review because I have a brand new account. And she said, if it doesn't fit me, I'm sure my mom will have it and she'll be happy with it. So I said, brilliant, amazing. And it always pays to reach out to people rather than getting an item and realizing, oh, it's size 16 instead of 14 or whatever. And I think descriptions really help. And also, what help is just chatting to them, even before you package it up. But I actually already sent the code last night, and then I came back home and I looked at my Vinted listing because I was taking it down, and I was like, bugger, it is 16, so it wasn't genuinely. It was a genuine mistake, but something I'll be mindful of in the future. And then I was taking my son to a choir yesterday to choir trials. So it's a voluntary kind of position, but he really, really loves singing. He loves music. So I was taking him um, to one of the schools here for a trial. And this woman offered me £11 on a wicker basket I had. And it was a really nice, vintagey looking, but in pristine condition basket. So it's good for storage or hamper. And I used it for storage myself in my front room to display some toys and because my front room is like basically a shop is full of stuff, clothes and bits. And so anyway, I didn't see what the offer was, and before kind of reviewing the item, what it was, she gave me £11, and I bought it for five, I think £5, and stupidly accepted £11. So I could have cancelled the sale, but then I thought, you know what, I'll pick up more baskets. I could get 25 for it next Christmas or whatever. But then she was really thrilled and stuff. And to be honest, I don't really need to work hard on Vinted anymore. I've got over 2,000 amazing reviews. I don't need to be mindful of canceling the sales or people leaving me bad review. I don't really, it's nice to be nice, but we want to get the best price for our items because supply might be short at some point of this vintagey secondhand or whatever good condition secondhand items. So absolutely from now on, my strategy would be to hold on to the items a little bit longer, but to get the best price for them rather than just shifting them. Sometimes, yes, you can, if you didn't research the item, if you don't know how much it's really worth, you can pick up an item at a cupboard for £5 and then realize, well, actually that's eBay price. I can't get any more than £4 or £5 for it. And we're not operating a business at a loss. So, if that happened to you and you went to charity shop, you didn't look up the item, you picked it up thinking you're going to be paying more for it, I suggest listing it on Facebook Marketplace. Facebook Marketplace, because they're local people picking up, they're not paying postage or fees. They'd always give you a little bit more free premium, but be prepared to deliver it or meet them halfway or drop it off at their house. I've done that several times, and more or less it's been okay. I offer pickup at my house um, for big items that they sell on eBay and Marketplace. But equally, if I'm going somewhere, I would like to just drop it off and not having to wait around for people and to make time and arrangements. And I'll be sitting there with the phone at the outside. People seem to have something strange. They don't ring the doorbell anymore. They'll sit outside in the car and they'll be pinging me, but I won't be having my phone with me all the time, so I won't see their messages. And sometimes they're like, well, I waited 5 minutes and I left. But I said, why did you knock on the door, ring the doorbell? a bit silly, really. But I think COVID made us all paranoid of people. People just like, they don't want to go near people nowadays if they don't know them. But anyway, that's their problem, not mine. Um, if I'm picking up something, or I'll definitely be going ringing the doorbell and messaging and probably ringing the Facebook, uh, their Facebook if they're not answering me. Yeah, some people don't know it's a thing. I said, "Oh, give me your phone number." I said, "You can ring me here in Facebook app. There's a phone, icon right next to the chat." Oh my goodness, people are just, I think they're afraid of people or afraid of technology, the one or the other. But if you can understand the technology and people out there, we're all here to help you, to get you through today. And so that's Depop. So when that clears, what I've noticed is while the item sold for £2, I'll only get 160 out of it. While they say sell for free, they still charge fees for money transfer. So that's a bit annoying, but I did make a 60p profit on that item, which is fine. I got a ton of boxes yesterday at the range. So that was very helpful because I was running out of boxes. I've tidied up my front room. The biggest news of yesterday, although I had two hiccups selling the item, I realized that the Blaupunkt system that I got, I thought the CD didn't work, but I didn't have the good CD. So then I found yesterday when I was tidying up a CD, um, what you call it, Freddie Mercury, Queen CD. I have it up for sale actually. I picked it up and I thought, 50p for that, surely it'll go for more. So I had that CD and I told my husband, "Well, now we're going to test it with this CD and see if the because CD tray came out, but the previous CD we had just wouldn't spin. So when we put the Queen CD on, it started to blast the music. So I was so happy because I had it up as like partially working because the radio works. And I put it up for £29, but because CD didn't work, so I said I can't test it. I don't have a CD that works. But then I did have a CD and it does work. So straight away I've put up the price. So while I lost on the basket, I actually hopefully will make up on the Blaupunkt. So it's now on eBay at £50 if you wanted to grab it. It's lovely. It's absolutely clean, pristine condition. I'll you'll find my in any of my longer videos, you'll find my eBay link and Vinted and probably Depop as well. So I tend to put all the links. If you're interested to have a look and make an offer at any of my items, please do. Um, I sold the coat, sold the basket. I posted the big kind of rucksack yesterday as well. I What else did I sell? And then I saw the pig. You must have seen the short. So the little piggy went. So it was funny because me and the kids said, "Oh, the toys are probably a bit of a slow sell after Christmas," and we were thinking of just putting them away somewhere in the bag. And then boom, the eBay sale came in. The little pig, brand new with the tag. From a charity shop, £2 into £4. Small sale, but you have to keep the clock ticking. Also, it gives you maybe a review, and somebody gets an item dirt cheap, so, a lot cheaper than in the shops. And I honestly think the the toys are really expensive. I rarely buy brand new toys for my kids, but I bought a set for my daughter recently, and that's not being me stingy or anything. It's just because I think money better spent on giving her experience, like a holiday or a day out at a trampoline park. It's better for her as well. And she gets tons of toys from friends, family, and they all knew, obviously. But she did get a toy at her birthday, and she played with it twice since, and it's been a month, and it's just sitting there in the corner. It costs £20, and it's not been played with, and I just feel like whether she gets other toys for a quid or 2 quid, it's just you know from a second shop, or somebody gives her like away a toy, she plays with it, and I don't care if she does or doesn't, because it doesn't cost me much. But when I spent a huge chunk of my paycheck onto things like spa or some silly toys or nail varnish, and it's just sitting there, that's just making, yeah, that could be food, it could be a day out for all of us. uh, and you could be thinking like, this food is expensive now. And I started this hustle predominantly so I could cover the food bill. Now I've covered the mortgage with my paycheck, I have that. I've got private insurance with my job that stretches out to all of my family members. I've got pension, all of those things. But as to day cash and food money, it's hard to cover it when you're already paying bills, massive bills, mortgage, and all the kids clubs and the car insurance and petrol and all of those things. And I do have another side business that I had for 5 years, but that only comes into play in September, October time, and now pretty much it's wrapped up. So yeah, you guys are not joining me today for a live chat. Maybe it's too early. Normally I do them a bit later. Maybe I should schedule them so you kind of know it's upcoming. Mm. Because I've scheduled them for 9:15. I'm definitely going to be on for at least half an hour, and that'll give you time to join me. Um, but I'm hoping to sell a few more things this week. Um, I've got a lot of cutlery. I accepted a lot of offers, but they didn't turn into any orders, sadly. I'll do the check now. So, so right. So let me see if I can see what's happening. So somebody made me an offer. So let's see what they're offering. Would you sell this for £12? Oh yes, so that's an offer for earrings. So that's my other business. So I keep those separate. I've got a jewelry business, and I also accepted an offer on a bangle, but she just didn't. And there's an annoying person who keeps making me very low offers on Vinted. And this is what I don't like about Vinted. They can just make so many silly offers, where eBay, it just seems to be they make one offer and either they buy it or they just don't buy it. And 80% of the time they do buy it. If you give them, the other thing I sold was a small padded pin coat for a dog like this. So that was it. So a funny story. So I bought few of these coats initially because I wasn't thinking big, and I bought all these little things. And I also, it was like a thing with the kids. So I said, here's a pound or 50p. Go find something that you can double your money on. So, and or I could double my money on because I'll be selling it anyway. But so they went and they got these dog coats, and the dog coats were like a pound each. And they did that the following week. So we ended up selling most of them, but this one. And I don't know what it was. It's a cute pink coat, but I think it was maybe the size of it. So lo and behold, I gave up on it. I reduced the price back to original pound, and it wasn't selling. And then the weather hit cold, and I put the price up to 2.99. Boom, sold next day. Kids were happy because now that means that they get a pound each back to go and shop for the car boot, because when we bought originally a few items with their pocket money, didn't sell. So we picked up some board games and things, and they didn't sell, so they didn't get the money out. So, but now that they actually have an item that sold, they could go and find something like maybe a little cutlery set or something that will sell, and they can continue, because it's hard for them to get up in the morning and just follow me around carport. They need to have their own little interest as well, and that keeps things, good for everybody. So that means they get up and I don't struggle. And, obviously can't leave them at home. They're very small and I need to be at the car booth early to get the best bargains. There's absolutely no point going to the car booth at 9 o'clock in the morning. So yeah, I roll on the summer where we could be going for a lot more car booths, but we have one that we constantly go to locally. It's only about 20 minutes away. And see how things are. Saturday, see, my husband works occasionally on Saturdays, so he had the last Saturday off, and he'll have the not this Saturday, but following Saturday off because we're actually going to London, and for a weekend, a long weekend, and so yeah, taking the kids to all the museums and London Eye and all of those things. They better make money for that. But yes, so he works Saturdays from 7 o'clock, and sometimes he might be working Sundays. So that means we can't really go and to car booths because of his work schedule. Uh, and I can, but it's a lot more pressure on me going by myself, and then I can't really. I need to be able to leave the kids somewhere for 5 minutes and run around. So, yeah, and usually we all go, unless it's summer, then, and they don't want to get up or they have something in the morning, then I'll go. Yeah, so Saturday, technically, we will probably go and hit a few charity shops, me and the kids, and then see what we find. So there might be a vlog on Saturday or Sunday. There'll definitely be one on Sunday from the car booth. So tune in for that. And yeah, maybe join me on another live stream tomorrow at 9:15. Thanks, guys. If you're watching this later, obviously, give me a comment and see what time works for you. And I'll be planning I'm free between 9 and 11. So see what works for you. I'll come online, answer questions. We have chat.